This man has a lot of fortitude. He's sticking to his ideology. World's poorest president rejects government pension and vows to continue fighting the elite. Uruguayan President José Pepe Mujica, known as the world's poorest president, has rejected his government's issued pension and vowed to continue fighting the global elite. Mujica, often celebrated as the world's most humble president, retired from office in 2015 when he had a staggering 70% approval rating. In a letter sent Tuesday, Mr. Mujica retired from his new post as senator, claiming he would be more effective at fighting corruption as an ordinary member of the public. This is what BBC News reports. The ex-president made his resignation official in a letter to the head of the Senate, Lucia Topolansky, who is also Uruguay's vice president and Mr. Mujica's wife of 13 years. In it, he said, "The motives for resigning are personal. I would call them tiredness after a long journey," quote unquote. He says, "Nevertheless, while my mind works, I cannot resign from solidarity and the battle of ideas," end quote. The letter continued. Outspoken ex-rebel Mr. Mujica, who's known for his direct and sometimes colorful language, also apologized to, quote, "any colleagues I may have personally hurt in the heat of the debate," end quote. In 2013, he had to apologize to then President of Argentina, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, after calling her an old hag and labeling her husband and former President Nestor Kirchner, who had a lazy eye, quote, "the cross-eyed man," end quote. His comments had been recorded at a news conference when he did not realize the microphone was on. In 2016, he said the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, was as mad as a goat, quote unquote. But it was his down-to-earth lifestyle and refusal to live in the presidential palace during his time in office, which made him really famous. Then and now, he and his wife, who was his life partner and fellow guerrilla fighter long before they married in 2005, live on a modest flower farm on the outskirts of Montevideo. He donated most of his salary as president to charity, and the only possession he had when he took office in 2010 was his 1987 Volkswagen Beetle. The light blue beat-up Beetle became so famous he was offered $1 million, that's 780,000 British pounds for it, in 2014, but turned the offer down because he said he would have no way of transporting his three-legged dog without it. Mr. Mujica's resignation letter did not come as a surprise, that he has announced that he would send it during his last appearance in the Senate on August 3rd. During the session, some of his political rivals said they were not sure whether to believe his assurances that he would retire from active politics for good. Senator Luis Alberto Heber referred to rumors that Mr. Mujica was stepping down to run for president for a second time in 2019. He said, quote, "We naturally think that it's great that you want to spend your free time resting rather than working against our party, and for yours, we wish you a peaceful rest," end quote. While his colleagues in the Senate wished him well, some of his critics on social media said he should have apologized for his actions during his time as a member of the armed left-wing rebel group Tupamaros in the 1960s and the 1970s. This is on Your Newswire by Sean Adel Tabatabai. Kindly support by contributing to my Patreon account. You'll find it in the description box below. Thank you. Thank you.